All right, we are going to continue with our media availabilities for this weekend's races here at Bristol Motor Speedway. We are changing course and going to the NASCAR Xfinity Series for the Fitzgerald Glider Kits 300. We have 3 drivers here who will be in contention for the Xfinity Series Dash for Cash bonus. We will start off with Justin Allgaier, the driver of the number 7 Cheney Brothers Chevrolet Cessna Chevrolet, who won the first Dash for Cash bonus earlier this year and is still in the running to up his total to $1 million by the end of the season if possible. So, Justin, why don't you just start off and talk about what it means for your team to be in that position here in the second race?
Well, I think anytime you can have an opportunity to go for something like that, it's huge. And, again, hats off to everybody at Xfinity Comcast for all they do for the sport, because this Xfinity Series Dash for Cash, I mean, when this was introduced a couple of years ago and the direction that it's gone and how much fun it's been every year, and then, to top it off this year with the racetracks they chose, I to be honest with you, I couldn't pick 4 better racetracks, not just for me, personally, of what I like as a racetrack, but what I feel like the racing promotes. The 4 racetracks that are in on this promote great racing, and it's just going to be a lot of fun. So looking forward to here at Bristol. This is one of my favorite racetracks. This is where I got my first Xfinity Series win. So, we'd love to I'd love to have the opportunity to go for it again. And as you said, go for that $1 million bonus. I mean, a total of $1 million. I mean, I think that's just absolutely huge for not only for myself and wanting to be competitive and do that, but for the team. I mean, that money will definitely be very well used as far as the team goes and going back into the program.
And we are also joined by Michael Annette, the driver of the number 5 Pilot Flying J Chevrolet. Michael, you are actually looking to prevent your teammate from adding up those bonuses here as you step in. What's your thinking coming into this weekend as you look to capture one of those Dash for Cash bonuses?
I mean, first off, I'm just excited to be back with the Xfinity Comcast series and being able to go for this bonus and have competitive race cars that, I can go into tomorrow's race and really feel like we have a chance to bring home that check. So it's just, just to keep adding on what Justin said, it's just a great opportunity for a team to bring some money, not only a trophy in the purse, but also an extra check to bring back to the race shop to put into our race cars to go be faster at Richmond. So it's just a really cool opportunity, and Xfinity they keep trying to make the program better and keep they look at how well it went the year before, what they could change to make it better. We're seeing that with how they're limiting some of the Cup guys being in there, letting the regulars just go battle it out for that extra money. I think that just makes it even more exciting.
All right, and we're also joined by Darrell Wallace Jr., driver of the number 6 Leidos Ford. You've participated in the program a couple of years here, had the chance to contend for that bonus, and talk about you've had a strong start to the season as well here with several 6th place finishes. How are you going to get that to translate here?
Yeah, I only have 2 finishes this year, 31st and 6th. So that's hats off to my guys for everybody at Roush Fenway for really stepping up this season. With Ryan winning Daytona and us bringing really good race cars to be competitive with. It's been a lot of fun this year. We were pretty decent at Phoenix, but not as good as Justin that day. He was rolling, so that was pretty cool to see him win that. But definitely want to get that opportunity and be up front this weekend. I think we got a really good shot. Bristol's one of my favorite tracks to come to, so always got that good morale, good memory coming into this place. Remember what happened last year, and we ran really good in the fall, so trying to build off that. But Xfinity has done a lot for the sport. They're still fresh into their contract and really changing how the sport interacts with fans, the drivers, and putting the whole package together. So it's really a great partnership that NASCAR's brought along, and they really treat us well. So anytime they just want to give $100,000 away, they're pretty cool.
All right, we'll open up to questions for our Dash for Cash drivers. We'll start with Jerry and then go to Reed, Mark, and Tucker.
Jerry Jordan, KickingTheTires.net and PRN. Bubba, this is for you. You're the only guy that can answer this. Like you drivers, sometimes in the media center we have some arguments, and one of those at Texas was, did Tyler actually get into the back of you? Because that is, we're still wondering.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. That was a lot of help there. Sorry, Justin. That wasn't my fault. I didn't lose it on my own. That was just, I knew that was kind of going to happen, and I think that one was inside of me. So I had the mind. I was in the middle of 3, so I had the mindset of, sorry, Elliot, I got to lay on your door here to not spin out by myself. Next thing you know, I'm spun out, and you felt the 42. He just timed it wrong. He was trying to get in behind me because he knew he was way out in left field, and we all checked up there, and he wasn't anticipating it. So just a racing deal, but definitely got help there.
I was okay with it. I was going to stop. I got run over from behind. So same as you, I got run over from behind. So
yeah, not your fault, see. Yeah, I seen that. So thanks, Tyler. All you, bub.
We'll go to Reed and then Mark.
Reed Spencer. Reed Spencer with NASCAR Wire Service. For all you guys, with the Cup drivers not eligible this year for Dash for Cash races and the different format, is there a distinctly different feel to these races from last year?
You put Kyle Larson, Daniel Suarez, Eric Jones, Ryan Blaney. I don't know who I was running this week,
Austin,
but
yeah.
Austin Dillon, Ty Dillon. They're still equally as good in my opinion. I mean, anybody that gets in the 18, 19, and 20 have been great. They've been able to kind of plug and play drivers. The 42 car has been lights out with Tyler in it or with Kyle. And I mean, I think that the same cars run well, and the caliber of drivers that we're seeing right now in this Xfinity Series are as good as I've ever seen it in a long time, at least. And for me personally, yeah, it does change the feel of the weekend, but I think that you're not changing the competitiveness of it. I think it's just the experience of who's running, and you kind of, we all kind of grew up racing each other, right? And not that we didn't race with the guys that are on the Cup side right now, but there's kind of a whole group of us that have raced together for a long time. We know each other really well. We don't know the guys that we haven't raced with for the last 15 years. So, I think it adds a different element for us because we understand what everybody's going to do and how they're going to do it. And I think it just changes the way we all attack each other.
Yeah, pretty much what Justin said. I think the parity this year is closer than it's ever been between the guys racing on Sunday and then racing on Saturday as well. I mean, we've already seen it so often. Ryan winning Daytona, Justin winning Phoenix, 5 top 10s for Bubba. I mean, it's just and Elliott and William just having a great season so far too. So the parity is unbelievably close right now, and it's just like he said, the drivers, the equipment that we're all in now, and I think you always have that different feel that Justin talked about when it is a Dash for Cash race, and there is kind of a limit on Cup drivers, and kind of brings you back to the standalone races where I think when I 3 years in the Cup Series, I loved watching those standalone races Saturday night if we were somewhere else. So I think the best races, and it just it adds about 4 more of those, just to the regular schedule.
Times 3.
Exactly.
Covered it.
All right, we'll go to Mark, Tucker, and Chris.
Mark Arrow, PRN. This for Bubba. You alluded to this before. It may be some kind of record, kind of weird statistics for somebody to finish 6th 5 times in a row. What's your thoughts about, running so well but being stuck on that same number?
I'm not complaining one bit. We look at all of our finishes from last year. Daytona, we finished 6th, and California, we finished 3rd. So we didn't lose much there at California, but Daytona definitely hit us hard this year. But, Daytona's a race within itself. So, every other race we have improved, not just by 1 or 2 positions, but 7 to 10 spots. And that's huge for us. That's huge for our program, especially with our season. We definitely need to keep clicking off these top 10s. Hopefully the top 5 this weekend. We're working hard for it. But everybody's saying, man, you need to finish better than 6. And I always say, if I finish 6th, you'll see me smiling like it's no other. So it's been fun. It's been a little bit weird. I had no idea where we ended up or where we were running there at Texas with about 9 to go. And then as soon as I looked at the pylon, William closed in on me like it was nothing. So I was like, oh, here we go. So I have never fought hard for a 6th place finish like I did at Texas. So it's been fun. We'll take any finish we can get, as long as we're hitting on every note. Seth and I have really have gotten to understand a lot more about each other this year. It's our 2.5 years working together now, so that definitely helps. So we'll get our Latos Mustang out there on the track today, hopefully, and get her dialed in for tomorrow's race, or Monday's race, or Tuesday's, whatever it is.
We'll go to Tucker.
Tucker White, SpeedwayMedia.com. This is for Michael. Now, Michael, between your visit yesterday to the elementary school up the road, with speaking to the school assembly, the I believe banana eating contest, and that relay race, I don't know how to describe it. What's your biggest takeaway from the whole visit?
I can't believe how much energy that principal had. That was the most. That was the amazing part. I wish I had one like that growing up. But just the excitement that this race brings to this whole town, and the excitement on those kids. I know they didn't have school today, so that probably had something to do with it. But no, it's just fun to go back and be able to give back to the communities that, especially a place like Bristol. I know you hear everybody that lives here talking about the traffic, and so when we bring our show into small towns like this, it's really cool to see the towns that appreciate it, know what we're bringing to their community, and those kids are the future fans are going to be selling this place out 10, 15 years down the road. So anything we can do to get them excited about us being here, we're always all for it.
Go to Chris.
Chris Knight, catchfeds.com. I have two questions, one for Daryl, one for Michael. Daryl, I know that you have sponsorship pretty much set through the end of May, but I was curious if the strong finishes to start the season has helped propel opportunities to carry you to Homestead.
I don't know. You would think it would help. Like I said, looking at the resume from last year to this year, I would think that it would prolong our season. So we're treating it still a race by race. We're not even worried about Charlotte's our last one so far, but that's still a month away. So we still got a lot of unfinished business. A couple races in between that to really focus in, get things out, and get our first win, get our second, third by then. So we just got to keep hitting everything. Like I said, it's just I think one reason that we're running really good is that we're backed into a corner this year, and we had to come out swinging, and that's really showing there with obviously 6th place finishes. So we just have to keep fighting.
And for Michael, your average finish through the first 5 races or 6 races is 15th, and just wondering how you're settling in at Junior Motorsports, and did you know that it was going to take some time for you to get into a rhythm with a new team and a new ride?
I hope it wasn't going to take this long. Disappointment definitely so far, the first quarter of the season. If my teammates were back there with me, it might be a little different feel, but watching, you said earlier, Justin winning races, Elliott, I think he's still leading the points, and 3 teammates in the top 5 in points, and I'm not. So definitely a disappointment. I've talked to guys on the team, and I put it all on myself because the cars are there. We know that. I got to get out of the 3-year mentality I had the past 3 years and just start being more aggressive, taking more chances. I was kind of stuck in, man, if I wad this thing up in qualifying, what's coming off the truck, I really don't know. And I just got to get away from that now and know that if you tear one up in practice or qualifying, trying to go as hard as you can to get the car right, we got just as good one coming off the truck. So enjoyed the Easter off weekend to kind of do some, I told Pemberton the biggest change we need to make is right between these 2 ears right here, I think, right now, and the off weekend definitely helped that. So, I hope it doesn't rain. I'm excited to get on the track today for sure.
How does the off weekend help? I'm just curious.
It's a whole extra week of being able to just focus on yourself and not really thinking about the setup for the car that weekend. Just straight up think about you. You're not necessarily sitting there just studying in-car footage from the racetrack we're going to that weekend. You kind of just get to take a step back, focus on yourself, and just kind of spend as much time at the shop as you can, keep morale up. I think that's bigger than anything. If the guys working on these cars, you got to keep them excited and not get down, just because we are struggling a little bit right now. So just everything about an off weekend, unless you're on a roll, you got momentum, you probably hate off weekends, but if you're in our position, you really look forward to it.
And go to Dustin and Kelly.
Dustin Long, NBC Sports. Any one of you can answer this, but this will be the first true short track race for this series with stages. In Cup at Martinsville, we saw a car fighting for its lap back, bump the leader out of the way right at the end. Since you guys haven't had this type of experience yet, what kind of an eye-opening experience was that, or what does that make you think about it? One, if you're leading, coming up on cars or trying to lap cars, or 2, trying to get your lap back, how does it open up some things to kind of think about?
Oh, you look at me.
I think I'm in agreement with you on this. That number one, watching Martinsville, I wish we had a race in Martinsville in the Xfinity Series.
Yes, absolutely.
But you can go ahead and
Are you
answer
sure
the
about
question.
that?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Okay.
Anyways, you can answer that.
So I'm just going to learn from Ricky. If I'm in that spot, nice job, Ricky. That was cool. Made it interesting for sure. But you never know how to treat it. If you have a comfortable lead, then manage your gaps there. Obviously those guys want to stay on the lead lap. The lap cars, they're fighting for themselves to get the best finish they can. So you got to know who you're racing. The stages always add extra excitement. You never know what's going to happen. So you have to be on your toes, especially here at Bristol. Got to watch out for wrecks. Anything can happen. Whatever's happening off 2, you're going to run into it before you even know it. So just got to be ready for it. Again, I think the biggest thing is know your surroundings. Keep your head on a swivel. If you put a guy a lap down that you know that's kind of a spaz attack, be careful. There might be something coming for you.
I think, too, to add to that, with the bottom lane being the way that it is, we don't really know. I mean, last year when we came here and we had the truck race, the modified race, all that had already run and kind of worked that stuff, not necessarily off, but it had worked it so much lower that it kind of opened up the top lane. We've not gone out on fresh, whatever you want to call it.
PhD.
Is it whatever they're calling it, I don't know. Additive to the bottom of the racetrack. So, that's going to be one thing, but as Bubba said, the intensity has been up everywhere. I mean, you look at Phoenix, you look at Atlanta. I mean, those two stick out of my mind, but my mind is everywhere. And then watching the Cup race in Martinsville, you go, man, okay, now it's this. I mean, it's going to be crazy. But the one thing that's different from Bristol to Martinsville is the way you race at Martinsville is so much different than Bristol. Bristol's so high banked and so fast. I'm not sure that if I bumped somebody as hard as they were bumping at Martinsville, that I wouldn't crash myself, let alone the guy in front of me. So, it's going to be a different way of racing, but I really do think that this is going to be an incredible stage ends, especially too adding the Dash for Cash program into it. That's how we're going to have to qualify. So, I mean, it's going to be all out war, I think, at the end of these stages. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm going to wrap up the Dash for Cash panel with Kelly.
Kelly Crandall, Racer.com. From Michael, you touched on this with Chris's question about, the start to the season hasn't been obviously what you've wanted, but the decision to move back to the Xfinity Series and pair up with Junior Motorsports, that still has to be a good feeling to be in this position, and I'm sure it's a completely, as you alluded to, it's a different mindset than you've been in the last couple of years. Can you just expand on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably where the frustration and disappointment comes more than anything, because I know what's at my fingertips this year and the opportunity I have this year. So definitely, like I said, I got to get that mentality right and lean on guys like Elliott and Justin. And, Justin last year was in the same boat I am this year. So, and we saw the success that he had last year and what he's already doing here. So, it's going to come. Like I said, it's just taking longer than I'd like it to, but I'm in the right spot with the right people and the right equipment. So it's just a matter of time, and hopefully tomorrow.
All right, gentlemen. Well, thanks for joining us this morning, and good luck this weekend.
Thanks.